Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, I actually had to wake up Ned Reynolds this morning because he was at the ballpark so late last night. Game went into extra innings, but you know what? It was worth it. The Bears got the dub.
Heck of a game.
Hell yeah, man. Bears are a real deal, I think. I think we got ourselves a team here, Ned.
Well, they are. They're a very good team. They're a very good hitting team, but watching that game, it kind of reminded me of the oft-quoted line from King Richard III, one of the great Shakespeare plays, in which King Richard has lost his horse out on the battlefield, and he says, "My horse, or a horse, my kingdom for a horse." Well, in this case, Joey Hawkins and Dave Van Horn, the two coaches for the opposing teams, Bears and Arkansas, could have said, a pitcher, my baseball team for a pitcher. There was very, very little pitching last night. 15-14, the Bears win it on a walk-off home run by Caden Bogenpole in the 10th inning. But how did it come about? Mike, there were 8 home runs hit in the game.
Wow.
You could see it coming because the wind was really blowing straight out to left field. And once they got the ball up in that jet stream, it was gone. 8 of them. But the Bears had a 12-10 lead in the 7th inning. Arkansas got a grand slam. They lead 14-12. It's 14-12. Last of the 9th inning. Gabe Ressler batting 1 on, 1 out. Hits one onto the berm, actually over the berm and out of the ballpark. Ties the ball game. And then in the 10th, Bogenpole wins it with his walk-off home runs. It was a classic game. 6,500 fans on hand, and many of them were still in attendance at the end of the game. Bears win 15-14. Now they have to go to Arkansas. That will be a very interesting game because this one was a little chippy last night. The umpires had to perhaps not necessarily separate players, but tell the coaches, hey, look, knock off the talking. We've had enough. And the fans, they were really rabid, and it was a split crowd. A couple of busloads of Arkansas fans came up for it, and the Bears, Marty Prather celebration night. It was a very, very interesting evening.
And on his night, to get a win like that, man, that says it all. But what I'm confused about is how in the hell you think my listeners are actually into Shakespeare, Ned. Come on, man. What do you think this is? We're Classic Rock Station. So... World Cup, we're about a little over 2 months away from when that starts, and they just had the final qualifying weekend. Obviously, Canada, Mexico, U.S. are in because they're the host countries, but who else is in?
There were 6 qualifying matches, and these are the final qualifying matches that they could possibly have. And the nations that got in were Czechia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Sweden, Turkey, the Congo, and Bolivia. All of them got into it by winning their key matches. Some of them were shootouts, but hey, that makes no difference. It's a win. So those nations are in, and it does begin in the second week in June across America and in Mexico and Canada as well. And the World Cup, which is 48 teams, will really be a lot of fun. A lot of folks, a lot of sellouts. Tickets are still available for some of them, but I think there's 6 matches at Arrowhead Stadium up in Kansas City, but there are 16 venues being used in the country, and they will all be crowded.
It'll be a lot of fun. Those tickets aren't cheap. Our buddy Jake got one. I think it was well over $2,000.
That sounds about right.
One seat. Yeah, sounds like something I'm not paying for. We've got, like I said, we're a little bit over 2 months away. The action starts in June. Where's Team USA going to start out at?
Well, Team USA will play their first game at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. That's the home of the the Los Angeles Rams and the Los Angeles Chargers, SoFi Stadium. And the USA will play Paraguay in their first round. USA, Mexico, and Canada all get buys into it, but I think the USA team would have gotten in anyway. But that begins June the 12th. That's Friday, June 12th, and that's the first game for USA. They play again about 4 days later. And it's pretty much nonstop competition right up until the World Cup is decided, and that'll be in the latter part of middle to latter part of July.
Cardinals started off their series with the Mets in the hole, but were able to right the ship yesterday.
They did, and they did it with a shutout, too, and I wonder how many fans thought the Cardinals were capable of getting a shutout. It was the Cardinals 3, New York Mets nothing. Andre Palante got the start, and he went 5 innings and pitched very well. Then there were 4 relievers after that, and they did very well indeed. They shut out the New York Mets, and that's a power-packed lineup. Ivan Herrera had a 2-run double, and Roman Urias hit a home run, and that was the margin of scoring for the Cardinals. 3 runs, it's all they need. All they needed was 1, and the Cardinals get a 3-0 win. Now they play again this afternoon up at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, and I'm assuming that's weather permitting. I don't know what the weather conditions are going to be up there. And the same with the Kansas City Royals. They'll be back on the diamond tonight against the Minnesota Twins.
We've got a pretty big situation involving Tiger Woods. There's been a lot of stories, but now he's finally come out and said that he is going to get the help he desperately needs.
Which he does need, and there's no question about that. The question is, surrounding Tiger Woods, what does this do to him? He is a superstar, and he's rewritten the golf record book on many occasions. And certainly, though, the dismal history of social problems, that has to come back to haunt him somewhere along the line. But you know what, Mike? The American public can be very sensitive to their superstar heroes. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if Tiger doesn't get a lot of leniency from the golf world and from the sports fans in general. Now, the guy is exceedingly wealthy, maybe the wealthiest athlete in the world. That part of it I don't know. But you have to give him some understanding because he is in considerable pain. The President of the United States talked to him. He's a friend of Donald Trump. And President Trump talked to him and said, hey, this guy's in considerable pain. And you understand that. He's had 20 surgeries, a lot of them on his back, some on his Achilles tendon. And it just is a really tragic thing. But the fact of the matter remains, he has said, now this is interesting because he pleaded not guilty. But he also said, but I'm going to turn myself in for a little rehab from the drugs and so forth that he's been taking, the pain medication. So I think maybe he'll get a free pass out of this, but he won't be playing golf anytime soon.
Rules for thee, not for me. I get that he's in pain. I get people make mistakes, but you do it twice, and if you have that amount of money and you will not get a driver because reportedly you don't want anyone to know what you're doing, that's your own fault. And I have no sympathy for you at that point. If people make mistakes once, you learn from it. And at that point, if you're a billionaire, you should be able to afford 5 drivers to follow you wherever the hell you want to go. And honestly, you should pay that guy to be able to blindfold and sign an NDA so he can't talk about it.
And you're right in saying that, too. And really, from a theoretical standpoint, that's the way it should work. But there is, in many cases, no even ground in this country, and there are significant heroes who are, in fact, given a second, third, and fourth chance. Maybe shouldn't happen, but I think it will. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I know he ain't going to spend a second behind bars. We've got a really, like I said in the last time we spoke, I think we have a really special Missouri Bears baseball team. They beat Arkansas in extra innings yesterday. It was definitely a heavy bat night, but when are they back out on the field again?
It was 15-14 last night in 10 innings. They went extra innings, and Caden Bogenpole won it on the walk-off home run. Next games coming up are conference games, and that'll be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday here in town, and the Bears will play on Eastern Sunday afternoon. They're playing Sam Houston State. Sam Houston State, of course, is a Conference USA team. Here, can you compare scores and make it work in any sport? The answer is no, you cannot. But we will work on this one, okay? The Bears played Oklahoma State last week and run-ruled them 16-2. The Bears beat Oklahoma State. Sam Houston State played Oklahoma State last night, lost 11-2. Oh my, that should be a slaughter. Does not work that way at all. But we'll see what happens. The Bears riding the crest of that big win. Sam Houston State in 3 games, Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday afternoon at Hammons Field.
And I know you got your dance card full with that being in town, Ned. Sit right there. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.